Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to a short collection video. In this video, which will be short, I'm just going to show you my Second Sight Films Special Editions and 101 Films Black Label collection. Now there's not a huge number. Second Sight and 101 Films also have standard edition Blu-rays, which I have a few of. They kind of specialise in kind of cult films, or kind of forgotten films, some mainstream films too, and they are kind of a mixed bag. I mean, the 101 Black Label collection, which only has 9, soon to be 10, with Skinner, which is an 80s slasher, which I pre-ordered. There doesn't seem to be too much rhyme or reason for the titles in the 101 Black Labels list, but I'll show you those ones first. And you can let me know in the comments below if you have any of these films or you've seen any of these films, which ones are your favourites, and also whether there is some kind of commonality between the Black Label releases by 101 Films, because I can't actually think of any. So number 1 is Stephen Frears' The Grifters, and it's spine number 1. From 1990, and this is a lovely little modern noir with John Cusack, Angelica Houston and Annette Bening, and they come in DVD Blu-ray combos, and their special editions always have nice booklets. This was produced by Scorsese, and it's a lovely little dark, cynical film noir. And for the Black Label releases by 101 Films, they do have a few more extras than their standard editions. So for example, this one has a brand new feature-length documentary on the film, and it also has essays and reviews. So that's number 1, The Grifters. Number 2 is eXistenZ by David Cronenberg, which you can see spine number 2, and this is from 1999. It's one of the Cronenberg films that's kind of underrated, but as the years have passed, as with quite a lot of Cronenberg films, its influence and also its kind of forward thinking as far as games culture, as far as virtual reality, there's Jude Law, you could argue it has maybe so many ideas going on. It kind of struggles under its own weight at times, but it is one of Cronenberg's kind of underrated ones. And there's the discs. And Willem Dafoe gives a fantastic performance in it. So the new extras are an interview with Christopher Eccleston, there's a commentary with Kim Newman, there's also another commentary by Nathaniel Thompson from Mondo Digital. And there's also a commentary by Cronenberg himself, which is very good. A making of, promo featurette, and backstage interviews with Jude Law, Jennifer Jason Leigh, not Jason Jennifer Leigh, that's a completely different person, and David Cronenberg. So that's number 2, eXistenZ. Number 3, I don't have the special edition of. It's Roller Coaster from 1977. It's number 3. And this is one of those, again, it has the theatrical version and the uncut version, both on Blu-ray. Their special edition had 3 discs, because it had it on DVD as well. And this is one of those 70s disaster films that they just spewed out in the 70s. This is one of my favourites, along with 2 Minute Warning, with Charlton Heston and John Cassavetes, which 101 Films has on their normal red case releases. But this one I think is actually worth having, because it's got the 70s A Roller Coaster of Disasters, which is a new documentary on roller coasters, and also the era of disaster movies in the 70s. And it's also got a commentary by Alan Bryce and David Flint, who I'm not exactly sure who they are. They don't seem to be people who've had anything to do with the actual making of the film. But so that's Roller Coaster, and that's spine number 3. Spine number 4, which I've yet to watch, is Paul Verhoeven's Black Book from 2006. Spine number 4. This is Verhoeven back to making films in Dutch. It does have fairly good reviews, but also let me know if you've seen it, what you think of it. It's a nice essay, amongst other things, in the booklet. And there's the discs. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. And you get Paul Verhoeven in Black Book. You get an interview with the cinematographer and essays in the booklet. And you also get interviews with Carice Van Houten, the star, and another interview with Paul Verhoeven. So that's number 4, Black Book. Number 5 is Trespass by Walter Hill from 1992. I did a video on this with Candyman, a double take video. This is Treasure of the Sierra Madre, but in the ghetto. There's Ice-T looking furious. I'm sure there'll be a picture of Ice Cube looking more furious. There you go. This is an enjoyable adventure. And here's the discs. And this has a commentary by 2 people that I'm not really sure who they are. Another commentary by 2 people who I'm not sure who they are. And there's a booklet with essays. There's an interview with the producer, interview with William Sadler, and an interview with the co-writer, Bob Gale. So that's spine number 5, Trespass. Spine number 6 is The Cooler, 2003, with another great turn by William H. Macy, Alec Baldwin, and Maria Bello. So again, you get the nice booklet with pictures and essays. Heaven and Hell, The Cooler, and Hollywood's Vegas. Get some storyboards. It's an underrated film. And here's the discs. Blu-ray DVD combo. And you get a feature-length documentary, The Making of, and previously unreleased deleted scenes. You also have a commentary with director Wayne Kramer and composer Mark Isham, commentary with director Wayne Kramer and cinematographer Jim Whittaker, deleted scenes, anatomy of a scene, storyboard comparisons, and trailers. So that is number 6, The Cooler. I don't have number 7, which is Howard the Duck. I don't have number 8, which is Class of 1984. So we go to number 9, Cronenberg's Rabid from 1977. So this, I suppose the only common denominator in these 9 releases is 2 of them are by Cronenberg. And obviously you get a nice booklet. Stunned, shocked, exhilarated horror in the early films of David Cronenberg. I have to say I probably prefer Shivers or The Parasite Murders or They Came From Within to Rabid. The Birth of Rabid. But it's still a lovely David Cronenberg early film. So here's the discs. And this is quite interesting, which almost suggests they're going to release another Cronenberg film, because it's The Quiet Revolution, State Society and the Canadian Horror Film, Part 1, Gimme Shelter, Cinepics and the Birth of the Canadian Horror Film, which is an excellent documentary about history, strangely enough. But because it's Part 1, it does suggest there might be a Part 2. So it does suggest there might be another David Cronenberg film getting released by 101 Black Label. And there's a commentary by the Soska sisters, who, amongst other films with American Mary, also did a TV remake of Rabid, which I haven't seen. There's also a booklet with 2 essays. There's also a commentary with Cronenberg, a commentary with William Beard, author of The Artist and Monster of the Cinema of David Cronenberg, audio commentary with Jill C. Nelson, author of Golden Goddesses, 25 Legendary Women of Classic Erotic Cinema 1968 to 1985, and Marilyn Chambers, Personal Appearances Manager. There's an actress with Susan Roman, there's an interview with Susan Roman, an archive interview with David Cronenberg. The director's David Cronenberg, a 1999 documentary on the filmmaker, and an interview with Ivan Reitman. I recently did see a picture of David Cronenberg on social media, and he doesn't look well. He looks very thin. It was actually quite a shocking picture. So that's number 9. Rabid. And that's my 101 Films Black Label collection. Again, a fairly eclectic bunch of films. Again, I'm not sure what the common thread is. But again, like Skinner, which is a lesser known 80s slasher, is coming out, and that'll be number 10. I think that's coming out in October or November possibly. So we'll move on to Second Sight Films Special Editions. Again, these are fairly all over the place too. Again, I'm not really sure if there's a thread to these ones either, but these are quite nice sets. So the first one is Asylum, which is an awesome portmanteau film from Amicus. So in these ones, you get posters and booklets, which have pictures and essays, Amicus Productions and the Rise of Portmanteau in Horror Cinema, Robert Bloch in Asylum, who obviously wrote Psycho, and it's just a lovely glossy booklet. And I mean, I think the second site usually just release the standard version after the limited editions go out of print, so the box is fairly standard. This has an audio commentary with the director, Roy Ward Baker, camera operator and film historian. To his company, it's a really interesting 1972 on-set BBC report featuring Milton Subotsky. So if you know anything about Amicus, he's one of the main, he is the main force behind Amicus. Director Roy Baker, actors Charlotte Rampling, James Villiers, Meg Jenkins, art director, production manager, screenwriter David Shaw on Robert Bloch. Fiona Subotsky remembers Milton Subotsky, and Inside the Fear Factory featurette with directors Roy Ward Baker, Freddie Francis and producer Max J. Rosenberg, and the trailer. And they tend to go for original artwork as well. That's lovely artwork in the front. So that's Asylum. These aren't numbered, I'm just doing them in alphabetical order. The next one is The Changeling with George C. Scott, which is a really creepy little ghost story. And again, you get poster, two-sided poster, and again you get a lovely booklet with essays and pictures. And again, I think the special edition of The Changeling is actually out of print, but they will release a standard edition. This special edition also has the soundtrack on CD. So this has brand new 4K restoration, commentary with director Peter Medak and producer, moderated by Severin Films, David Gregory, The House on Chessman Park, The Haunting True Story of the Changeling, and the music of the Changeling interview with music arranger, and Building the House of Horror interview with art director, and also Master of Horror Mick Garris on the Changeling, and also the soundtrack. The Changeling does have a couple of really creepy moments, and again, I think I've said it before, but I'm not the biggest George C. Scott fan, even though I do seem to have quite a lot of his films, I've suddenly realised. So that's The Changeling. Next is The Color of Pomegranates. So this one has, you don't get a poster, but you do get you do get a rather thick book, which has images from the film, some of which are just absolutely stunning. It has scripts, story about the background of the character portrayed in the film. Again, I did a video on The Color of Pomegranates as well. Here's the disc. Again, it's a film that everybody says is a masterpiece. I do think it's very good, but I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I maybe need to rewatch it. So this has two cuts of the film, Parayanov's cut and also the Russian cut of the film. It also has his short film Kiev Frescoes, and it has commentaries and interviews. It's a really nice set of a film that does have some stunning imageries in it. Imageries? I apologise for not being able to speak today. That's The Color of Pomegranates. Next is The Flight of the Navigator. This is one of their most recent releases, and this is an absolute little gem of a film. I remember it coming out. Again, you get a poster in the mid-80s. Flight of the Navigator. It's a lovely thick book with storyboards. The original storyboard, stories about the development and the production notes. It's a really nice booklet. And again, these boxes are nice and sturdy. I know some companies have fairly flimsy boxes, but Second Sight are really sturdy boxes. Again, if you don't get the limited edition version, they do just release the black standard version. This has 4K restoration, a new interview with the director Randall Kleiser, producing The Navigator, new interview with producer, interview with Joey Kramer, who played the little boy, an interview with Veronica Cartwright, who plays the mother, an interview with Matt Adler, who played his brother, a piece on the special effects of The Navigator, and a commentary with the director and executive producer Jonathan Sanger. So that's The Flight of the Navigator, which is a lovely piece of 80s nostalgia. Next is The House That Dripped Blood, another wonderful little Amicus portmanteau film with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing and John Pertwee and Ingrid Pitt. Again, you get a poster, double-sided, and you get a lovely little booklet. The House That Dripped Blood in the Gothic Double. Robert Bloch in The House That Dripped Blood. There's a nice shot of Ingrid Pitt. And again, with the black Blu-ray case, which is all very nice. This is a commentary with the director Peter Duffel and the author Jonathan Rigby. There's another commentary with film historian Troy Howarth, who appears in quite a few Blu-rays. There's an interview with second assistant director Mike Higgins, an R-rated horror film, vintage featurette featuring interviews with director and actors, and theatrical trailers. So that's The House That Dripped Blood. Next is, again, one of their latest releases, In Bruges, by Martin McDonagh, before he did 3 Billboards. This is his sweary Belgian one with Colin Farrell and Ray Fiennes and Brendan Gleeson. Again, you get a nice booklet with interviews and pictures, but this special edition also has a copy of the script. which is quite nice. Obviously very sweary. And this is the Blu-ray case. Trademark black, which is always very nice. So this has Six Shooter, which is Martin McDonagh's Oscar-winning short film in HD. Has an interview with the DP, an interview with the editor, an interview with the production designer, an interview with Eric Godon, who talks about alcoves in the film. He's the supplier of guns. And interview with cast and crews on set for 2 featurettes and deleted scenes, and also a boat trip around Bruges and a gag reel. I mean, I don't think there's many extras that were different from the actual standard release, but the fact you get the script and a nice booklet as well, and a nice box. So I don't know. So next is Take Shelter. This is the film with Michael Shannon thinking there's a storm coming, so he spends all his money building a shelter in his back garden, while everybody thinks he's a little bit mental. Interview with Jeff Nichols. And again, nice booklet. And there's the disc. And this has a new interview with Jeff Nichols, the director. Q and A's from some festivals with Jeff Nichols, Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain. And again, 2011 Toronto Film Festival interviews with Jeff Nichols, Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain. There's behind the scenes, deleted scenes. So that's Take Shelter. Next is everybody's favourite rat movies, Wellard and Ben. This comes in a double pack. There's no booklet with this, but you do get a Wellard and Ben poster. Like I said, everybody's favourite rat movies. Wellard is the first one and probably the best one, which surprisingly Ernest Borgnine's in and gives a really slimy performance. 4K scan, audio commentary with Bruce Davison, interview with Bruce Davison, trailer and radio spots for Wellard. And this is Ben, the follow-up, which isn't quite as good. It's a little boy and Ben, the lead rat. This has a new transfer and restoration, an audio commentary with the little boy, an interview with Lee Montgomery, obviously grown up, theatrical trailer, TV spots, stills gallery. So if you love rats, Wellard and Ben. Next on the list is When a Stranger Calls, which also includes the sequel When a Stranger Calls Back, which I haven't actually seen. Again, poster, booklet, which again has nice photos and essays. And it has that nice booklet smell. There's the discs, and again this is a 3-disc special edition which has the soundtrack. So this is a new scan restoration. It also includes the sequel When a Stranger Calls Back in HD. A new scan and restoration of the original short film the sitter, an interview with Fred Walton, the director, an interview with Carol Kane, an interview with Tanya Alda, and an interview with the composer Dana Kaproff, and also the CD soundtrack. So that's When a Stranger Calls. And finally, World on a Wire by Fassbinder, which again contains a booklet and stills and essays. There's the man himself. And then there's a 2-disc. And this has an interview with the assistant director, a tribute to photographer Peter Gunn, looking ahead to today documentary, on-set featurette, original broadcast recap, and an interview with Professor Nick Bostrom. That's Fassbinder's World on a Wire. And that is the last of my Second Sight special editions. So thanks very much for watching this odd little collection video of a fairly odd selection of films. Again, leave comments below which films you've seen, whether you have any of these releases, and hopefully we'll see you again for more odd videos. This is Solitude Ronan saying thanks for watching and farewell.